Welcome back on this Sunday afternoon. Now, this week's hometown hero, David Lopez Jr., is a very impressive student at Maywood Center for Enriched Student Studies. Really absolutely incredible, playing varsity basketball while excelling in the classroom and writing for the student news site. But Beto, there's something very, very special about young David, isn't there?
Yeah, nothing can stop this young man. It was really cool to hear the story. My brother's actually the principal at this school at MACES. And Jim, you're going to love this feature right here.
Hometown Hero, sponsored by Rotolo Chevrolet.
When did you realize that, hey, I'm not like other kids?
That started at like a really early age, maybe when I was like 4 years old, because you know, I figured out that I can't run. My dad had this tricycle for me, and what we would do is he would get like one of these little bungee cords. He would hang my leg on top of one of the handlebars, and I would just ride it like that. I mean, at that point, I just figured out like, okay, well, we're gonna have to do things differently.
When he was born, I didn't even notice until the nurse told me. And first thing I said, man, how's he gonna play football? How's he gonna play basketball?
My leg had to get amputated because had I let it grow out, first off, I don't have a hip bone. So, I mean, that explains a lot.
I remember when he got his first prosthetic leg, he didn't want it. He didn't want to walk on it. I pushed it away. And slowly I was training him. I was having him push a stroller with it. And then he realized, oh shoot, I can walk. And then he never stopped ever since then.
When did you start playing basketball?
Since I was in 3rd grade, we had a basketball hoop, but I didn't really pay much attention to basketball at that time. It wasn't until 6th grade that I played a lot more basketball. We would go to the park a lot in middle school, and we would just go and shoot hoops. And then that just carried on to high school. When I came here, I wanted to play basketball. That's all I was focused on.
You get into your first varsity game, you grab that rebound. You're smiling right now. And at that moment, you weren't. You were just grabbing that board, you're into it. But now you think about it, you're like, wow, I really am a varsity basketball player.
Yeah, it's exciting. It's exciting. I just do what I have to do pretty much. If I'm there for the rebound, I'm there for the rebound. If I'm there for a pass and shot, I'm there for a pass and shot. I just gotta know what I gotta do, and if it helps the team, I'll continue to do it.
It's one thing to say my kid's on the team, but another thing to see him actually playing out there. How were you handling it?
My eyes were watery. You know, my girlfriend was on the side. She's like, it's okay. I was like, damn, I can't, you know. I was so proud of him. Like, I wish I could go and pat him on the back. Pat him on the back right then and there.
A lot of people could have said, I don't want to do this. I don't want to do that. I'm going to make excuses. How come you don't make excuses?
My family pushes me, my friends push me, my teachers push me. Everybody just pushes me to get better because, you know, they know that even with my disability, I'm smart, I'm still someone. I could still do something in the world.
We don't look at him as he has any disability. Whatever we do, we do as a unit. His brother, his sister, my son as well. We look at all of them the same.
I get a chance to kind of work alongside him with his writing and give him tips, and he just runs with it. You know, he's an athlete in the classroom, just like he is on the court.
You're an AP student. You're an honor student.
Yep.
High GPA. You're doing everything.
Right.
Where does your determination come from?
My dad and my family, because it's a little hard to say, but never really said it out loud, but my dad, my dad's risen to like the top. You know, he's come from a poor family. He's come from, you know, moving from house to house, and you know, he's eventually just like made it from that point in his life, having to deal with 3 kids to, you know, working at Universal Studios now, and everything's just the best for him. And seeing him do that, you know, that brings a lot of inspiration to me.
I always felt since he was born, he was going to have a disadvantage. And he's proven otherwise, that he can do what every other kid can do, even if he has to put in double the work, even if he has to do it on one leg. he's gonna do it.
Say a kid in elementary or junior high who has a prosthetic leg, who's been told, hey, you can't play on the regular teams, hey, you can't do this. What would be your advice to them?
Just go out there and do it. I mean, if they look at you funny, if they, I don't know, just give looks or whatever, if they stare, if they ask questions, just deal with it. But other than that, go out and do it. Nothing should stop you.
He wasn't the only one.
Yeah.
We hear kind of, you know, yeah, but when you, it gives you goosebumps. It
Yeah.
makes you feel really good to see how a strong father and what a strong father can do.
Yeah, and really cool story. And thanks to David Sr. for getting with us and telling us the story. And this is really cool because it's not a gimmick. My brother, actually, Gabriel, was the principal. He's like, hey, check this kid out. He's a leader. He writes for the school paper. He wants to be a sports reporter. And when we talked about him, we spoke with him, I went to the game thinking maybe he plays like 30 seconds, they get him in. No. He's legit on the team. He's diving for the ball. He's grabbing rebounds. He gets after it. You walk out of there, you're inspired. And that's what's happening. And update to the story is he uses a regular prosthetic leg. So Bob Babbitt and the Challenge Athletes Foundation, along with Bill Walton, are working to help David get an athletic leg that will allow him to run. So next season, watch out for him if you're at MACES. And it was really cool for me to tell that story, and wow.
Oh, I know.
Whew.
I feel the same. And you know, one of the other things is and he does learn things from us.
Yeah.
But we're learning a great deal and maybe even more from him.
No excuses from him.
Yeah.
I kept saying, like, oh, maybe this. No. And it goes back to that Mexican attitude of the family. I'm like, no llores, no none of this. It's like, no sympathy. Get after it. Go after it. You want to have a dream, go do whatever you want to do. And David inspires everybody.
David, thank you so much, my brother. Thank you. And David is a perfect example of what I like to say when I say keep the faith.
Yeah, it's a perfect Father's Day story.
You better
They have a
believe it.
bond.
That is for sure. All right.